Business is more than grinding to get it done. It's people, process, and payroll done right. It's protecting your team, leveraging every penny out of every dollar to build and grow. From HR to insurance, from strategy to scale. We give you the playbook so you don't have to figure it out the hard way. This is the PEO Playbook, hosted by Chad Philly with Staff Brokers Inc. Get valuable insights and learn to grow your team without HR headaches. Let's get started.
All right, welcome back to the PEO Playbook podcast at PEOPlaybook.com. I am Chad Philly with Staff Brokers and here with CEO of Staff Brokers, Marty Gray. We're going to get into talking about all things PEO and how they help small businesses manage everyday headaches of payroll, work comp, and human resources. But to kick off this episode, we're going to do a little bit more about Staff Brokers and kind of how it came to be and what has worked, kind of what's made us who we are over the years. So go ahead, Marty.
Thanks, Chad. So, it started with me just out selling and knocking on doors. But shortly after I got going, I started having multiple companies that I was representing, giving me more of an ability to find the right PEO for clients. And then what really kind of took the growth was as we started having affiliate marketers with us. And the vast majority of them are property and casualty insurance agents nationwide. These agents, they have their own book of business. They're selling insurance all day long, but they come across a client who might be best fit by being put into a PEO. Now, what makes that? Maybe the guy's needs payroll help. Maybe he needs HR help. Maybe he has some problems getting workers' compensation because he's had claim history. These are all big reasons what makes a good PEO client. So we've made relationships with the insurance agencies and agents. They see a prospect come across their desk. These are perfect people to partner with because, quite honestly, they already have the loss history. They already have all of the data associated with what we're going to need to provide a quote for. We secure the quote for them, and then we support them through the sales process. Assuming that goes well and the sales process gets closed, we support in the enrollment process, which is getting the applications and all of the contracts and all of that done and introducing them to the people that they're going to be dealing with and talking to as their new PEO partner. And then after that, we're getting paid. We're going to get a commission based off of the sale, and we're gladly share that commission with our affiliate partner. We understand that if he was selling insurance himself, he's going to get a commission. And in some cases, we're actually able to pay him better than he was able to get paid in the traditional world. That's not always true, but it really does boil down to what's best for the client. So we've been doing this 25 years. So we have agents and agencies that we pay monthly a significant amount of reoccurring commissions. And we enjoy those relationships. So to any agent who might have a client on their desk or a prospect on their desk that they're having a hard time that's a great place for us to start with. But again, our primary one is going to be that young entrepreneur who's we just don't want to overwhelm with the back office portion of his business. Let's outsource all of that. Let's pay our agent who brought us the deal a recurring commission, and that's lifetime vested. As long as that client's with Staff Brokers, that client is going to be the agents. And it's been a successful business model for us. We've had some success in the accounting world also. So accountants who are willing to allow us to take over that portion of the business for their clients also.
Yeah, I would agree. I say it's nice that the client already has the relation, or the agent already has the relationship with the client. Like you said, it can be for any number of reasons. They just know that they're better tasked with building houses or plumbing or whatever it is that they do versus the back office stuff, and sometimes that makes it an ideal fit where it works good. Or if they've gotten themselves in trouble from a work comp point of view, whether it be because of lackadaisical safety, or just had a random accident and has allowed that, and ended with a claim, and maybe viewed as uninsurable in the standard market. Also, a lot of time a new business. A lot of times, getting the general liability and the property and the building and stuff is pretty straightforward, but the work comp is a little more complicated depending on the size they're starting at. So we're able to be that piece that that fits and is able to solve the work comp problem for that agent. And there's kind of dual-sided benefits to that. I said, we've got lots of PEO experience within our office. We do not sell any of the competing products that the insurance agents offer. We don't sell standalone work comp. We don't sell general liability. But the big thing, in partnering is, we're familiar with the industry, know who the big industry players are, know who's going to be, who's going to be the best fit. We can tell you up front, if you want quotes, here's the path of least resistance, depending on the type of client you have. Or are they going to go fill out another 10 forms? Because we need all this extra underwriting information to do something. And that's a variance within the PEO marketplace of some of them take blanket forms, some of them need their forms with their specific, all their company logo and information and stuff on it. And, I hate to say salespeople are lazy, but the, you know, the path of least resistance is very true. So if an insurance agent's already collected the vast majority of data, it's so difficult for them to go back and ask for more.
Right.
And it just, so that relationship, like I said, we do everything we can, or, as far as protecting our agents, it's a good insulator. If the work comp is the missing piece of the puzzle, or the missing piece of insurance that an agent doesn't have for a client, there's always a pitch from another insurance agent of, well, I can get all of it. And then you only have to deal with me. You won't have two agents. You won't have me for work comp or one for this. They typically are always going. Within our PEO environment, we're not just bringing a work comp piece. We're bringing the payroll, HR compliance, and the whole thing. And now you don't have as easy of an opportunity for another agent to come.
I tell our agents, you're still the guy we want you to go golfing with him on occasion, or take him out to lunch, or walk in and say hi and say, how are things going? Insurance agents, it's like they're bred into, on a yearly basis, having that meeting for renewal. Your renewal's coming up, time for me to come see you, right? And our clients are the best referral base that we have. The agent who's getting paid on the account shows up, says, it's time to do, to shop, make sure that you're getting the right rates and all that. And the clients are always like, I'm not leaving the PEO I'm with.
It is. It's a very.
I am not leaving the PEO I'm with. I
high
have
retention
such a
rate.
great relationship with them. I mean, you're talking to the PEO weekly. Every week you're turning in hours. Every week you're talking to somebody. And it's not that we don't need to do a price adjustment. If you've been with us for more than a year and rates have gone up, maybe we want to leave things alone. If you've been with us for more than a year and the work comp rates are going down, well, maybe we want to, yes, give a little nudge to the PEO, say, hey, it's time to do a rate review and try to get some of those savings.
And that's part of what we do in those scenarios, is working with the agents, because clients inevitably think, oh, I deserve a rate review, or it's been a year. I want to see what my new rates are. And, we can look and see whether the state rates have gone up or down, but also have the foresight to go to the client and like ask the client, hey, have you had claims? If you just had a claim of a decent size that you're aware of, you're better suited to not ask this question right now.
Now's not the time.
Now's not the time, but it doesn't always, so that's where we're benefiting, helping that agent with, keeping that client within that relationship and just, trying to keep them in the best case scenario.
Not every client has the exact same policy. I mean, we've got a couple big clients who we've put on rebate programs where they're willing to jump in and basically, we got them an extra, they wanted more discount. We weren't able to give it to them, but we're willing to give it to them a year later if there weren't any claims.
Right.
And, so given a low loss ratio, some of our clients are getting rebates. We've got one that gets $15,000, $20,000 a year back because they're not having the claims.
So, I mean, that's something that we have, and they do have that. That's a similar product is out there in the standard, workers' comp market.
So we're able to be creative with the products that we're bringing to these clients.
Yep. And the biggest thing, from the agent point of view, we realize that they have, the standard insurance agent, they have carrier volume agreements, they have contracts that they have to provide X amount of volume to their insurance carriers. We're here on a 100% as needed basis. Use us once a year, twice a year,
right,
twice a week, whatever your client flow is, we're completely good with. Your volume doesn't change whether or not you continue to get paid. That's just, the nature of how we do it.
One of money motivates. So you have a doctor's office, you have a clerical office of some volume, but we all know there's no premium there. Bring it to us, we're paying a percentage of gross payroll. So we'll make the sale on the benefits. We'll make a sale on the HR side of it. We'll make a sale on all of the aspects that a PEO is bringing to the table. And in cases like that, we're able to pay more than you would receive easily in a work comp policy.
Yep. So to the agents that are out there, feel free to look us up, reach out to us. Say we're more than happy and, looking for new partners to come on. I know the PEO world can be overwhelming enough that you don't want to get in. And that's a lot of what we're helping with is, knowing who's out there, who the players are, and just being able to be, reliable and making sure that, the insurance agent is comfortable with it as much as their client is as well.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for watching. That's this episode of PEO Playbook, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the PEO Playbook, where we help business owners unlock the power of PEOs and take their team to the next level. This episode was proudly brought to you by Legacy Sales Engineering. If you're ready to simplify HR, scale your business, and put the right team behind you, visit staffbroker.net to get started with Staff Brokers today.